This is Parawoman Radio, day 16 of Live Miss. We're kind of just doing updates of Chris Watts in prison, what his life is like in 2023. I know I did an update. I don't know if it was this year, though, but it was like, I think more in the beginning, there was letters where he was saying that he worked in the kitchen. He was the meat man, remember? This is the last video we're going to watch. Chris Watts case, latest update from Ronnie and Cindy Watts in Wisconsin. They went and this would be September 21st of 2022. We'll watch a little bit of it. They went and visited, I think this is the one where they talk about Ronnie threw the paper plate in front of them and said, how could you have put the girls through something that small? I think it might be that one.
He wants to do right by them. He wants to, and even said God's prayers were answered. You know, that Frank called and said, I have a place in his heart. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is why Frankie's in the dark. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, he's in the dark about it all, and he's the one that's actually being used by Sandy, you know, to be the voice of the family because he's more believable.
Yeah, because I know there's no way Sandy will get on the phone with him.
I just want to say that we support the Rusaks on this channel, and these are some of the things I don't agree with. The Rusaks are victims. They're victims.
Say that. Ain't no way in hell Sandy will get on the phone with him.
No.
Never.
Not a chance in the world.
But then, like I told Chris, I said, the only thing Dave is doing, he's not blowing up the Rusaks about this, that, or the other. I said, he's just looking for answers, Chris. I said, the name of his channel is Speaking the Truth with Dave.
Ronnie defended you?
I defended you.
I know it's more of a Z, Rusaks, but I always try to put the checks in there. Rusaks. I always say that, but I know it's Rusaks, but I always say it wrong.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And I said that.
Yes,
Ronnie brought up tonight, and Chris said, he said, well, I knew this was going to happen. He said, but I thought you'd wait till Wednesday or Thursday. He said, I didn't know you were going to bring everything up tonight. And we did. We brought everything to him. Everything.
Really?
Everything. And he's... The what? Oh, you tell him that. Oh my God, Ronnie was dramatic.
Well, I wasn't dramatic.
You were dramatic.
I'm pretty proud of himself for doing that.
He was saying that he just got finished eating, and I got a paper plate because once he sits down, he can't get up. He can't look at the food. He's not allowed to move once he sits down. And the food stuff was right behind us, you know, and I got him the food. And he's eating a cheeseburger and stuff.
I mean, considering Ronnie, and he seems like he's a really kind of easygoing, doesn't really want to say too much to rock the boat. Like, I think it probably took a lot for Ronnie to do that, to throw the plate in front of Chris and say what he said.
I got another plate, and I just threw it down on the table in front of him. I said, see that right there, Chris? I put my hand across it like I did that plate at the house. I said, that's an 8-inch plate. Pretty much. It might be maybe a little bit smaller, but it's pretty much an 8-inch plate. I said, you look at that.
So I feel like I see progress with the Watts. I see, you know, in the beginning, I just total denial, I think, and I've just seen progress. And so that makes me feel good that there is progress.
And you tell me how them girls went down that. He just sat there and stared at it. I said, them girls did not go down through them hatches, Chris.
Like I don't believe the measurement.
Well, you take somebody that's alive and kicking and squeezing and turning the body this way and trying to get arms and everything. Yes, that's possible, maybe. But I think that was over 8 inches in diameter the way I looked at it. But, yeah, you cannot take a dead body, I mean to say it that way, and try to force it down through that without having marks all over them and cuts all over them and everything. And probably all kinds of wounds all over. There's no way, because if you look at the picture of the hatch, it's even got...
I do tend to agree with this. How, like, what's strange is I think Bella would be, because she seemed more petite. It would have like maybe her, but how in the world did he get Cece through there? I mean, I just don't know.
Part of the opening is not
not as wide. It's not as wide when you get those to go in.
That had part of the edge that was not cut out right. It was,
and this obviously right here is Chris Watts's newest letter or newest picture that we have out there of him. So he looks like he's a lot grayer on the sides, and looks like this is his receding hairline is getting worse.
There's less made it.
And
Bella looked just like him, didn't she? My goodness.
And I said, let me answer
but
this.
I can see Cece in these two, so.
It's okay, so if they went through the side, well, you said that one tank had like 7 or 8 foot of, oil stuff in it. I said, yeah, so that if they have to take off the sides, that means oil's going to come out of it. Somebody would have to clean that up.
Yeah, one
what
of
about
them
the water
did
tank
have scrape marks on them, and there was some hair.
I said, what about?
There was some hair in the hatch. The thing is that if he did it, he shoved them through. There wasn't any dropping them through. He crammed them through. And yeah. Because I can't see how he would have opened the bottom, because if you open the bottom, doesn't all the oil come out? Or maybe I'm wrong with that, but I don't know. I just can't even envision all of it. I just in my mind's eye too, what he told us, what he was willing to tell us, it's got to be 10 times worse. And I just envision him marching little Bella up, because I don't see him wanting to make 2 trips up there. So I don't know. Ugh. I think Cece had some real brain damage and wasn't all there, and that's why he did her first, just to get her. Yeah. Anyway, whew.
Troy coming out there again Tuesday just to look around. What about him saying that Chris might have buried evidence at 1029? He just was sitting there and looked at me. I said, Chris, there's a hell of a lot of shit you don't know.
And what Frank said, you got to stop telling, you've got to stop them from all your coworkers being talked about over the internet. You need to stop it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dave, this is just for your ears now. We can't.
Yeah.
I know it's hard.
Are these all the people that they believe were involved in this? Is that why we're seeing that? Let's move forward. I will put the link to this so you can watch it all.
Looking around
in the description.
And I said, what about Troy saying he thought you buried evidence at 1029? He said, I took a dump out there. And I said, well, he said you might have buried evidence. That's what he told the FBI.
Who was it that took the poo out there? Was it Chris or was it Troy? They're saying Troy.
What about the water truck coming out there? So what about Troy coming back out there next day looking around? For what?
For what?
And I said, what about Troy saying he thought you buried evidence at 1029? He said, I took a dump out there. And I said, well, he said
after people murder others, it's common that they'll go to the bathroom. They'll take a poo. Remember in the Amanda Knox, there was the poo in the leftover in the toilet, and I've read or heard other cases where there's just poop next to the dead body.
You might have buried evidence. That's what he told the FBI, whoever it was.
And he just looked.
He looked like
I don't think they did, Brooke.
I mean, he didn't know about any of that stuff.
But they must have, right? It seems like they would have, but I don't know.
No, none of it. Not one thing do we know about.
What I told him.
Do you remember a year ago? Remember a year ago, you guys spoke to him on the phone. I said, Troy, over a year ago, actually, Jesus, it was when we first started talking. I said, Troy threw him under the bus. Troy's a piece of shit. I need you to tell him that Troy's a piece of shit. So you pretty much told him, Ronnie. Dave says.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know how they could, I wish I had a friend like Nicole. So that's all I have to say about
that. Baby, I'm dancing with you tonight. Here in the blue, I'm dancing and falling out, hoping for some time with you.